You're watching Lynxx 24, connecting you to the community.
Hello and welcome to Lynxx 24. I'm Steve Peterson, your host of the 24. Here with my co-hosts, yes, the whole gang's here. April Frelke, Melissa Carroll, and Nick Kaufman. And happy 2016.
Oh, Happy New Year.
Happy New Year to both of you. And
Yes.
Mel over
Yes.
there. You bet.
Yeah, and speaking of Mel, you know, she had the Hello, My Name Is sign on. I thought that was kind of a nice touch today.
Yeah, that
She's
was
been
good.
gone
We
for,
haven't
what,
seen
2
her
months?
for-
She's been out doing her little theatrical
So
thing.
I'm going to start things off because I want to ask Mel. Mel, what'd you do for your holiday season? What was one of the big highlights?
Well, I was involved with the Gifts of the Magi show in La Crosse Community Theater, and here are some pictures from this. This is I played 10 different characters in this show. And it was exciting because we had a lot of fun. That was my streetwalker character, Letty. They all didn't have names, but I gave them all names, and I gave them all backstories and futures, and it was part of the actor's work, my director said.
10
so,
characters?
10
Wow,
characters.
multiple personalities.
Yes,
You nailed
yes.
it.
Okay, well, the bar's pretty high, Nick. So what did you do for the holiday season as far as a highlight?
You wouldn't believe this, but I spent all day New Year's Day playing cards with some friends. Nothing else interfered. We played cards all day. And that's a rare deal to do when you're busy. I'm sure as you and other people have a lot of busy schedules. So that was kind of a delight.
Well, that's good.
Otherwise, it was good. It was a nice holiday. We did the normal, traditional things,
Ate a lot.
Yeah.
Silver Star Health is your
I'm sure the cook over
Before
here
that.
probably made all kinds of things during the holidays.
Well, you know what? I ended up giving out at least 20 cookie boxes
See?
this Christmas season.
Well, let's put it this way, that our segment, Let's Eat,
Yeah.
okay, I've already done it now for about
Let's
2
Eat.
weeks.
So what's your highlight?
Oh, you know what? I loved cross-country skiing with my son Luke. We went out cross-country skiing because, snow. We finally had some snow and could get out. So I love the skis. So that would have been a great Lynxx outdoors.
Yeah.
What about you, Steve?
My dad's 80th birthday. It's 2 days
there you
after
go.
Christmas, and I surprised him with a video. Thanks to Lynxx 24. And
I remember you telling me
Peter
about
and I
that.
sat together,
That's
and it
right.
started off with just going to be the family members that couldn't make it, back for the birthday, and then relatives tell other relatives. The next thing you know, I'm getting like 20-some videos. And so we spliced it all together into like a special report newscast, and it's on YouTube. You can check it out. But it just blew him away. He wasn't expecting it. And some of the people that greeted him were people he hadn't seen for 20 to 30 years. So
it's beautiful.
It was pretty cool. So
It was a
Really?
that was fun. That was fun.
a nice idea, and I will check that out because I was talking about it.
Yeah, it's a lot of work, but it was fun, and thanks to Peter for helping me out on that.
Good.
Well, this week on Lynxx 24, we'll be filling you in on proposed legislation that could affect the status of some of Wisconsin's protected effigy burial mounds. And your Lynxx 24 anchors will be hashing out the details. Yeah, we will be on the legislation and the local response from the Ho-Chunk Nation. And then the stretch between Thanksgiving and New Year's is known as the most wonderful time of the year for many reasons. But did you know that it is especially wonderful for the jewelry industry? The holiday season is also referred to as engagement season because approximately 33% of engagements happen between Thanksgiving and New Year's Day. Now, if you or someone you know in the area got engaged over the holiday, you won't want to miss our interview with Benjamin and Kelly Schaefer, the owners of NordHaus, a Black River Falls wedding venue that's a lot different than what you might think. That should be considered by anyone planning for their big day. But first, we're going to be sending things over to Mel for some community news.
New Lisbon's annual Mayor's Chili Cook-Off will take place on Saturday, January 16th in the community room at City Hall. Anyone can enter by submitting a homemade chili, soup, or bread. Entries should be brought to City Hall between 8 and 10:30 a.m. the morning of the cook-off. All entries will be available for public tasting between 11 a.m. and 2 p.m. for the cost of $8 per person. The proceeds will go toward the New Lisbon Girl and Boy Scout troops, and all cook-off entries will be judged by Scout leaders. And as an added bonus, Lynxx 24 anchors April and Nick will be covering the cook-off again this year. So Nick, are you planning to bring out a new chili cook-off apron?
I'm not going to bring out a new one. I'm going to bring out the one that I won last year at the Chili Cook-Off, and it says Chili Cook-Off.
Ooh, that's a great, yes.
I think the viewers have probably seen it more than anyone else around here. But yes, that will be out, and I have a whole new chili recipe that I have already started to put together for the 16th. So yes.
Ooh, any hints?
Yes, I can give you a hint. There's no beans in it.
Ooh.
So there, think about that.
Not your traditional chili.
Wow.
Yeah.
Chili cook-off season's here for Nick. Oh,
Absolutely, yes. Watch out. Show up for that
I'll
one.
just stand there and watch you do all the whatever chili stuff you need to do next.
We're gonna cover it the way we normally cover things. I'm just let that go on by itself.
Wow, okay.
Well, the Juneau County Sheriff's Office is asking residents to assist in updating their information with the 911 dispatch system. With many residents using cell phones and eliminating their landline, it is more challenging for the Sheriff's Office to retain a list of current addresses and phone numbers. The office is asking that Juneau County residents complete and return a 911 data form to the Sheriff's Office in Mauston. All information on the form will remain confidential and will only be used by dispatch emergency services and law enforcement. Forms can be found at the Sheriff's Office in Mauston, the New Lisbon City Hall, or on the Juneau County Sheriff's Office website. So April, technology usually assists, works in favor of law enforcement. Do you see it as working against in this instance?
Not necessarily.
Do you think it'll be difficult for the Sheriff's Office to get a good reply from these forms?
Well, I think that a big part of that, as a person who still has a landline, so am I dating myself? But no, I mean, it's gonna, they're gonna need to get the information gathered. I guess that would be just a way to.
I'm getting notifications on my email already if there's something going on. Okay.
I get a 911 dispatch like if there's something like an Amber Alert comes right to my phone. So
Yeah.
I don't know, and that's a good question.
Well, I would certainly hope that that they would maybe make it a little easier. I mean, I can call up and say, hey, I don't have this number, I have this number, or here, add this number. I got to go get a form and fill it out.
Yeah, I think that's
going to slow things down.
That's going to be the big thing is how are you going to fill that form? You have to go there, get it, think about getting it, and then seniors and things that aren't driving as much. I don't know. That's
seems
But
odd.
don't we have enough government, input on where they know everything about us already as far as where we're living and
Why
everything?
aren't they
Why don't they? Why don't they just, is there other resources that they could go and find? Maybe the NSA is looking for you. I don't know. But
all your information will remain
well,
confidential.
that'll be next week's segment.
Right?
The NSA and April. That's the way we'll work that one out.
All right, back to you, Mel, on our next story.
The Village
Go for
of
it.
Camp Douglas will hold a caucus for village trustee nominations at 5:30 p.m. on January 13th. 3 seats on the village board are up for election for a 2-year term. Incumbents Samantha Blanchard, Scott Miller, and Michelle Schleif will be seeking re-election. The caucus is open to the public. The nominees will be chosen by a motion from the current board members, and paperwork will need to be filed for all nominees who appear on the ballot on April 15th, 2016 election. So there's a lot taking place in the Camp Douglas this year with the Main Street project, Steve, and other development. What would you say is exciting about taking part in local government in a town like Camp Douglas?
Well, I think with Camp Douglas being progressive and they've got that big project going, I think now's the time you want to be part of it. So, I'm just excited to see that there's people that are wanting to be reelected, because a lot of times, you're seeing people, I don't want to run anymore, I'm just going to step down, and then it's hard to find somebody even to want to run in their place. But, there's so many good things going on in Camp Douglas and all around Juneau County. It's pretty easy to get kind of excited about it. And I'm sure that that's one of the big reasons that went into the re-election decision was I want to be part of this because I was there when it started. I want to be here when it's finished.
They might have more people be interested if they didn't use words like caucus. Couldn't we just have a meeting?
That's
couldn't be just a meeting.
That's a parliament procedure word.
Absolutely,
caucus.
yeah. You've got to know
for
something.
Caucus, so we 3 can caucus before Mel asks us the question.
Yeah, well, you got to have a caucus so you can find out if you got to buy yard signs and stuff. That's what that all works. Yeah,
I got you.
Yeah, but caucuses, meetings, just as long as you got some dialogue going when it comes to these elections, I think is good.
Right.
Well, when we come back, Mel will be telling us about a proposed piece of legislation in the state of Wisconsin that could affect the protected status of the state's effigy burial mounds. And the rest of us will have a chance to weigh in, and I mean weigh in on the situation as well. Find out when we come back.
Take a moment and think about that special person you have in your life. You know the one. They're always going that extra mile with you. Wouldn't it be nice to send them a card or gift to show how much you care? Robbie's Pharmacy has hundreds of unique gifts. Show your special person how much you care and appreciate them. It feels good to give, and even better when it's a friend. Robbie's Pharmacy, we have that too.
Why exhaust yourself searching for hard-to-find auto parts? Simply have Lloyd at Bumper to Bumper Auto Parts use his 35 years of experience, along with the connections he's built over the years, to get the part you need. Fixing your vehicle is hard enough. Make finding the part you need as easy as opening a box. Give Lloyd's Auto Parts Bumper to Bumper Automotive New Lisbon a call today. Hard to find auto parts made easy.
You know, my dad says our internet's faster than your internet.
No way, you got Lynxx.
How fast is Lynxx?
I'll show you.
Whoa.
Pretty cool, huh? You might want to hold on. This is Lynxx speed.
That's fast.
Thanks for watching Lynxx 24.
Where we're connecting you to the community.
Welcome back to Lynxx 24. Two Wisconsin legislators are co-sponsoring a bill that could affect the protected status of the state's effigy burial mounds. The Ho-Chunk Nation is participating in a rally protesting the proposed legislation on January 12th at the Capitol building in Madison. The Ho-Chunk are believed to be descendants of the mound builder people who created the effigy mounds. Under the proposed bill, the owner of a piece of land that is currently cataloged as a burial site may investigate the land for evidence of human remains using ground-penetrating radar or other archaeological methods. If no remains are found, the State Historical Society would be required to remove the burial site and contiguous land from the state catalog of protected sites. The bill would also prohibit private land from being put on the catalog unless the existence of human remains is established. The Ho-Chunk believe any disturbance of the sites constitutes desecration. The proposed legislation is supported by Wisconsin Manufacturers and Commerce, the Wisconsin Builders Association, and the Wingra Stone Company. For more than 2 decades now, the Stone Company has mined around an effigy mound located in its Dane County quarry. Removal of the effigy from the state's catalog would allow the company to extract over $10 million worth of limestone that lies beneath the mounds. The effigy mounds are believed to have been constructed between 500 BC and 11,000 AD, and the Ho-Chunk Nation says their significance is comparable to that of the pyramids in Egypt. According to the Wisconsin Department of Natural Resources, Wisconsin is considered to be the center of effigy mound culture, as 95% of the world's remaining ancient effigy monuments are located here in the state. Currently, state law protects all such burial sites against unauthorized disturbance. So, Steve, April, and Nick, you guys have read up on what's going on with this proposed legislation and had some pre-show conversation about it. So let's hear your thoughts.
Well, I'll be the one in the middle on this one because I kind of know where both of you sit. But, you know, from an economic development side, you've got to say it makes sense because there's a lot of
But why the money? Why? Okay, sorry.
Just let me speak.
Okay. Why is it all about the money?
But that's part of it. And but the other side of it is that you've got the Ho-Chunk Nation and just overall historical preservation in the state that you've got to take into consideration. You know, I think this legislation isn't saying, hey, we're just going to tear everything up and that's what we're going to do. I think it's saying, let's look at it if there's a request for it, and then
Steve,
find it.
It says specifically it'll take you off your private name off of the catalog. It's very specific, the legislation.
If it's found that the remains are there or whatever.
Remains.
Go ahead. I'll let you go first because I know you won't even let Nick say anything.
I'm not even going to let Nick talk. No, I will. I'll be fair, but I am absolutely against the legislation. I completely support the Ho-Chunk Nation, 110%. And Nick, let's go. Arm wrestle you about it.
Well, I guess I'm for the legislation, but because I see that the issue is more about eminent domain and about regulatory takings. And what's happened here is that because things are in the catalog and it's really supervised by the State Historical Society, it has allowed private property owners who have effigy mounds, they're not able to do anything with their property. Once it's in that catalog, then there's a whole bunch of things that they can't do. And when they try to get permits to look into it and find out, is this a burial mound or an effigy mound, they find that the statutes are so loosely written that, in fact, every effigy mound is considered a burial mound, and that is wrong. Okay, there are many mounds out there that do not have human remains in them, and if there's no, excuse me,
All right.
if they have no human remains in them, then they're not covered by Statute 157. All this legislation says is that they'd like to be able to have an owner to go and use some technology to see, are there human remains in there? It's not about digging it up or doing all that other good stuff.
Okay, Nick, I have to pipe in here. What if
Yes.
those mounds aren't burial sites, but they have other religious meaning and like Stonehenge, that's not a burial site.
They would have to deal with that in a different way with the landowner. It's as simple as that, okay? But it would not be under the statute that we're talking about, which concerns itself with human burial.
But it's not the private landowners that are trying to get this legislation passed.
Businesses, right?
Big corporations
Well,
Want to dig under the earth
for
to get
$10
the
million
limestone.
Well, we have
for
to-
short-term profit gain.
You have
instead of
to look at the
historical.
magnitude of the problem. Madison itself is one of the largest areas in the Midwest. They have over 2,000 mounds in Madison alone. Around the state, there are tens of thousands of these. They're sitting on people's private property.
Right.
Most of the time, people understand that, and that they work with the State Historical Society. Okay, and other times, sometimes your land is useless because you can't do anything with it. So it's a matter of, the answer to your question really is, it would have to be taken up in some different legislation, okay, by the Native American people, not under this particular statute.
Yeah, and I think this is really geared mostly for that Wingra situation, because they know there's millions of dollars of limestone that's under there, and their concern is we have no proof that there's actual human remains there. It could just be a spiritual mound, which are very common around the state.
Yeah,
but
it's always easy to get the commercial thing
Right.
on here and then make it look worse than it really is.
well, I got to say, all of you behaved for the most part. You did good.
Yeah, but we're
So-
not done yet.
We're
not
at a time
done.
limit, too.
Yeah, otherwise we'll just keep going.
And we
Just
are on a
keep
time
going on
limit.
this.
You guys can arm wrestle during the commercial break, because when we come back, Benjamin and Kelly Schaefer, the owners of NordHaus, will be joining April to tell us about their unique Black River Falls wedding venue. Stick around and get your ref shirts on.
You know, my dad says our internet's faster than your internet.
No way, we've got Lynxx.
How fast is Lynxx?
I'll show you. Whoa. Pretty cool, huh? You might want to hold on. This is Lynxx speed.
That's fast.
Take a moment and think about that special person you have in your life. You know the one. They're always going that extra mile with you. Wouldn't it be nice to send them a card or gift to show how much you care? Robbie's Pharmacy has hundreds of unique gifts. Show your special person how much you care and appreciate them. It feels good to give, and even better when it's a friend. Robbie's Pharmacy, we have that too.
Why exhaust yourself searching for hard-to-find auto parts? Simply have Lloyd at Bumper to Bumper Auto Parts use his 35 years of experience, along with the connections he's built over the years, to get the part you need. Fixing your vehicle is hard enough. Make finding the part you need as easy as opening a box. Give Lloyd's Auto Parts Bumper to Bumper Automotive, New Lisbon, a call today. Hard to find auto parts made easy.
Edward Jones, this is Shirley speaking. How may I help you? Oh, hey Neil, how are you? How was the trip?
With nearly 7 million investors,
He's right here. Hold on one second.
you'd expect us to have a highly skilled call center.
Kevin, Neil Hawley's on line 1.
Okay, great. And we do. It's how Edward Jones makes sense of investing.
You're watching Lynxx 24, connecting you to the community.
Welcome back to Lynxx 24. Do you know the holiday season is the most wonderful time of the year to pop the question, the engagement question? If you're newly engaged and starting on your wedding planning or know someone who is, NordHaus is a must-see venue when scoping out ceremony and reception locations for that big day. Here with me are NordHaus owners Benjamin and Kelly Schaefer to give us the details on their unique River Falls-based business. So welcome to the Lynxx, Ben and Kelly. It's great to have you.
Yeah.
I'm excited to hear about the NordHaus.
Yeah, there's a lot of exciting stuff happening.
So just give us a background of the, like if I'm looking at your website, which
Sure.
I have looked at, it's just gorgeous. So how would you explain NordHaus to the viewers?
Yeah, I guess simply put, it's an event space. We've been approached by a lot of people for different things, weddings including. Weddings are a really big one, but really we met 10 years ago. We got married 3 years ago, and independently we had each wanted to open up an event space of some sort. And so when we got married, we just started casually looking for locations to possibly host something, and we found ourselves recently in the wedding industry. So we said, why don't we just look for a place that could potentially host weddings? And we found this chunk of land in Black River Falls that's gorgeous. We fell in love with it right away. As soon as you roll up to the gate, you hear the sound of the creek, you hear the falls, and you just smell the pine. It's just a really magical place. And so we decided we wanted to do an event space here. We wanted to bring people in, and we wanted people to fall in love with the land just as much as we fell in love with it, basically.
Wow, that sounds beautiful. And as I was listening to you talk, Benjamin, you said that you have wedding planning experience. And Kelly, I was wondering if you could talk to our viewers about that,
Yeah,
and how
definitely.
you're gonna blend that into the event space.
Yeah, so I started taking photos a few years ago with a friend. She ended up moving to LA, and Benjamin was kind of hanging out, and I was like, hey, you want to take some photos with me? And so that's kind of how we kind of got wrapped up into the wedding industry.
And I was in school at the time, and I was working with a professor. We ended up doing a documentary on some of the things that he'd been working on. And sort of in preparation, I made some videos. I borrowed Kelly's camera, and we just started working on it. And now we've been making wedding films and doing wedding photography for years. And you just learn a lot being around the event all the time.
You're taking the pictures of it, and you're really probably learning about the need of the wedding.
Exactly. And really a huge thing for us is that if the couple is calm, and if you take some of that pressure off, even as a person doing a wedding video or wedding photos, that makes a huge difference. And I guess that's one of the goals for the venue is we want people to come to the land and just breathe. And so we're going to offer a day of wedding coordinator, so you're not fielding calls from caterers or DJs. We just want people to show up and really just be free so that they can engage each other.
Sounds like almost an experience the wedding,
yeah,
instead of run the wedding.
Exactly, and I think it should be. I think that people showing up, it's. I mean, we see it a lot. People show up and they just want to take they take their iPhones out or their iPads out and they try to take pictures. We really want to create a space where you just get to experience something. Weddings create so many cool emotions, good and bad, but they're real, and we want people to have a space that they feel really free to engage those emotions.
And we've got just a little under a minute, so real quickly, if say I'm engaged, or I'm expecting to get engaged this Valentine's Day, right? How would I get a hold of and start setting up a wedding venue for the 2017?
Yeah, if you want to just go to our website, it's NordHaus.com.
NordHaus.com?
The NordHaus.com. Okay. And then we have a contact page through there, and we'll just kind of get the ball rolling. And
we've already walked a lot of couples around the property, and the biggest thing is we have a lot of building to do, and it's all going to be totally gorgeous. But email us, go to the website if you like the vibe. We will be able to help you out.
Great. We look forward to getting the venue pictures, and good luck with your project.
Thank you so much.
Thanks for joining us. Well, Ben and Kelly, thank you so much for joining us. And when we come back, we'll be hearing more about what's going on in the community. Stay tuned.
Camp Douglas Farmers Co-op's Full Service Wednesdays. Every Wednesday, treat yourself to full service. We fill your tank. We check your oil. And we even clean your windshield. It's Full Service Wednesdays only at Camp Douglas Farmers Co-op. And every time you fill up, register to win a $20 fuel card. Camp Douglas Farmers Co-op. Why exhaust yourself searching for hard-to-find auto parts? Simply have Lloyd at Bumper to Bumper Auto Parts use his 35 years of experience, along with the connections he's built over the years, to get the part you need. Fixing your vehicle is hard enough. Make finding the part you need as easy as opening a box. Give Lloyd's Auto Parts Bumper to Bumper Automotive, New Lisbon, a call today. Hard to find auto parts made easy.
Because the health and well-being of your family are precious, you can trust Robbie's Pharmacy to make your privacy our priority. At Robbie's Pharmacy, your prescription consultations are both personal and discreet. Explain your medications and answer questions you may have. Robbie's Pharmacy has a solid commitment to you and our local New Lisbon community. Robbie's Pharmacy, the personal service you want with the professional staff you deserve.
You're watching one of the biggest financial services companies in the country at work.
Hey.
How did it come to be?
Yours? Not anymore. It's a very short story. Come on in.
By meeting you more than halfway. It's how Edward Jones makes sense of investing.
You're watching Lynxx 24, connecting you to the community.
Welcome back to Lynxx 24. Here's a look at what's coming up in your community. Reserve your spot today in the New Lisbon Chamber's annual bowling tournament taking place on Saturday, February 6th at the Hooter Bowl and Hustler. There are 2 times to play, 4 and 7 p.m., and the cost is $20 per person. Reserve your place in the tournament by contacting the Hooter Bowl at the number listed on your screen. And all proceeds will benefit the New Lisbon Food Pantry. So get those bowling shoes on, April.
Go bowling, that's right.
Let's go.
Well, between the shorter daylight hours and the cold keeping us indoors more often this time of year, it's important to keep in mind the opportunities to connect with others in the community. Don't forget that the New Lisbon Methodist Church hosts a monthly community supper on the last Tuesday of each month at the New Lisbon American Legion Hall. The meal takes place at 4:30 until 6 p.m. There is no charge for the meal, and everyone in the community is encouraged to attend. It is free. For more information on becoming a dinner or donating volunteer hours, contact Janice Zablowski using the information on your screen.
That's a great program.
Yeah, we've been to that, haven't we?
We certainly have. And by the way, the Toma High School Limited Edition Show Choir, I should say that again, Toma High School Limited Edition Show Choir will hold a spaghetti dinner and show from 5 until 8 p.m. on Saturday, January 16th, same day as Chili Cook-Off. The dinner will take place in the high school cafeteria, followed by the performance at 7 p.m. That sounds like fun.
So let's see, we can bowl, we got a chili cook-off, we can have a community dinner.
And
and
you have a spaghetti and go to a show.
Yeah.
And you could go protest January 12th down in Madison for the effigy mounds. Just gonna.
Yes.
Sorry, I didn't want to get you started.
No. If they show up on the 12th, it's okay. I think it's a different date, isn't it?
Give April a call. She's taking a carpool down.
It's at the 12th.
That's right. And I'll be with the caterpillars.
Good debate. Good debate, though.
No,
I mean, that's what it's about. And there's going to be some fun topics in the future we're going to be talking about. So
I cannot wait to see the NordHaus. That sounds like a beautiful venue. So
I think we should do a show from there. What do you think?
Oh yeah, we should.
That could be fun out there in the
Lynxx
in the spring.
outdoors.
Yeah.
Great to have Mel back finally.
Right.
Yeah, welcome back, Mel.
And we'll get out and do some snowshoeing.
Yeah.
I am excited.
Come on, we should get out and do
Right now,
some
she's down to 8 personalities. She's gone from 10 to 8 in just a half-hour show. So
Mel?
Yeah.
I figured
or are you talking about me?
No, well, I don't know about you, but
right. That's another deal.
I think another spirit showed up in you when we were talking about the effigy thing. But we want to thank everybody for being part of our show. Thanks to Benjamin and Kelly Schaefer for being a part of this week's show. And next week, Mile Bluff Medical Center registered dietitian and nutritionist Shannon Moore will be with us to talk about how to actually keep the most popular New Year's resolutions of diet and exercise. And I know we can't wait for that one.
Whoa.
Also, New Lisbon Mayor Lloyd Chase will be with us to give us a State of New Lisbon address as he looks ahead in 2016. And thanks to all our great sponsors. We couldn't do this without your great support, and everyone at Lemonwire Valley Telecom as well. Lynxx, the whole crew, and all of you for tuning in to Lynxx 24. We're connecting you to the community.
I was right, it is.